Howdy! This is Part 101, Lesson 5, and I'm Dave Hook. This lesson deals with 14 CFR Part 101, Subpart E, the special rule for model aircraft. Specifically, we'll look at Paragraph D, operating in a manner that does not interfere with and gives way to any manned aircraft. To start off, let's briefly look at the other guy's regulations, the altitude regulations for manned aircraft. General aircraft flying regulations for manned aircraft are found in 14 CFR Part 91. Paragraph 119 specifies that the minimum safe altitudes that the FAA expects manned aircraft pilots to obey. Subparagraph A states that manned aircraft are always to fly no lower than an altitude that, in the event of an engine failure, there is sufficient altitude to perform an emergency landing without creating undue hazard to persons or property on the surface. Over congested areas like cities, towns, settlements, and open-air assemblies, manned aircraft are to be flown no lower than 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle within 2,000 feet. When flying over places that are considered congested, the minimum altitude is 500 feet. And in sparsely populated areas, aircraft can be flown no closer than 500 feet to any person, vehicle, vessel, or structure. Pilots flying helicopters, powered parachutes, or weight shift control aircraft can fly lower and closer than 500 feet if they can do so without creating a hazard to people or property on the surface. So if we fly at or below 400 feet, and manned aircraft pilots fly at or above 500 feet, then where are the conflicts likely to happen? Near airports, because at some point during a flight, that manned aircraft has to take off and it has to land, requiring the pilot to fly safely below 500 feet. That's why in the next lesson, we'll look at flying within 5 statute miles of an airport. But what about that group of aircraft that is allowed to fly routinely and legally below 500 feet? Where are conflicts likely to happen? Conflicts can happen anywhere and everywhere. So, as model aircraft pilots, we must be prepared to give way to them when we fly. According to FAA documents, depending upon the situation, a pilot's reaction time varies between 2 and 10 seconds. Reaction time involves the 3 P's. Perceive is detecting something, usually by sight or sound. Process is figuring out what's going on and determining what, if any, response is required. And perform is taking the action we determine is necessary. And while it's not an official part of a 3P model, monitoring change to ensure we get the desired results is part of the follow-on actions to our initial reaction. To improve reaction times and initial responses when giving way to other aircraft, there are things we can do. First, maintain visual line of sight with your model aircraft. Doing this helps build a continual awareness of the surroundings and the situation. Next, build a 360-degree awareness of the sky, so occasionally take a look behind you. I have seen this at many RC parks. Model aircraft pilots put earbuds in their ears and listen to their favorite music when they fly. Removing your sense of hearing from the surrounding area takes away the first cue you will likely have from an approaching helicopter. You are much more likely to hear low-flying helicopters before you see them, so take the music playing earbuds out of your ears when you fly. Have a plan when you fly. Look around at your surroundings before launching your aircraft. Determine a good alternate landing spot in case your original takeoff location becomes contaminated with people, pets, or other things. And consider how to recover your aircraft safely by minimizing overflight of other people. Plan ahead. Adapted from an old pilot saying, It's better to have your model aircraft on the ground and wish you were flying than to have it in the air and wishing it were on the ground. Our next lesson gets into paragraph E, where we'll look at flying within 5 statute miles of an airport. That's it for now. This is Dave saying cheers from the Alamo. Over and out.